bring out against EG, because for me they're going to be the underdogs of that matchup.
Okay, I'd just like to raise it that the three gentlemen have mentioned nothing about Cloud9 going out being a surprise. Just saying.
Is that truth? I guess. I don't know. We lost him at DreamHack, so.
Okay. On that note, on that bombshell, we'll head into the draft for Game 2. It's Invictus Gaming versus Alliance.
And look at that. Immediately, Wisp and Nature's Prophet ban. Sometimes you see some teams changing their bans depending on whether they have first or second pick because they want to stop one hero from going through. IG is like, no, we don't care which pick we have. We just want to stop these two heroes from Alliance. And that forces them to play the Brewmaster. What do you think of Brewmaster as a hero, Jackie?
I think he's a broken hero. Like he makes the game really easy to play for you. You have an ultimate that you just jump in, you cast your ultimate, and it's kind of like you can't really make too many mistakes. Even if your micro is really bad, it doesn't really matter. The enemy can't really go on you. They can't attack the pandas, they're too tanky, and they can't attack your backline because the pandas are just standing there and being annoying. They throw your Curie up the air, and then he just throws them up the air again.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect for me. I might have to play that.
It requires Michael's skills. Which,
oh, does it? Oh, that's not good then.
Yeah, I know. Not gonna fly.
You need to play Wraith King.
Yeah, that's easy.
I think you'd be a good Wraith
Just
King.
one button.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to bring back the all necks.
Oh, the 3 passive necks?
The 3 passive.
Yeah. What do you guys think? So I'm seeing Ember Spirit again. I think Alliance this time around need to counterpick it a bit more. Some more stuns, maybe some target talents. Maybe they pull out the Skywrath in this lineup.
Disruptor, man.
Disruptor, also really good.
How did you feel about the Batrider in the last game?
It didn't really accomplish much. It was really hard because, okay, every time he jumped on someone, immediately there was the carapace. And Nyx is really, really annoying to play against when you're a Batrider because all he needs to do is walk into the fire and then you're stunned.
They have swap 2.
They had swap 2, which they use a few times, and even one time there was a kind of like a guest impale that stunned the Batrider just as it jumped into the lasso. So no lag with there. IG probably is not scared to play against that again.
Actually banned the Skywrath, so Alliance not going to get that one.
I think it's a good guess. I'm kind of interested to see the Chuan Mirana, because he's been really, really, really well with that hero. I think he's 13-3. I will check right now, but
17-6 overall.
17-6. Yeah, I think I have a different, but it's just like.
I mean, that's how many times the team have played it because he hasn't always played it. So.
Exactly.
I think it's really important for them to ban Shadow Shaman, though. Shadow Shaman on Dire's side. If you give IG a small lead, they'll just take down all your towers and then progress in erosion, similar to how we talked about Enigma in the last series.
I wonder if they're gonna ban Venge. I think that hero's pretty good on Dire. You can just type the Roshan and it's good against Batrider.
Yeah, it's also kind of good against Brewmaster in some situations. Brewmaster is the type of hero that initiates in and kind of calls a target for your team, where you throw the boulder, and then the boulder target is the focus, and Venge can counteract that.
Yeah.
And Alliance are going to ban out the Shadow Demon instead, which would have also been a great counter to the Batrider, of course, for kind of the same reasons. So they could only ban one of them. I'm imagining, like Jackie said, it would be likely that IG get the other one.
Since we have a little bit of a break until they actually start picking heroes, because we're in the ban stage and they banned the Lone Druid. You were remembered by many for picking Night Stalker a lot back in the days when you played solo mid. Why do you think Night Stalker is not seen anymore?
There's a couple of things that have changed about it. I think overall I wouldn't say Night Stalker is a bad pick as such at this point, but overall a lot of people were really excited when the day-night cycle thing was changed, but I actually think it makes him weaker in solo positions because his timing window when you want to be strong with that hero is when you're like level 7, and that's generally when the night is over now, instead of when it's like going on or level 6 or something like that. So it's that's been an unfortunate thing for him. In addition to that, I think teams have become a lot better at playing against the heavy control that he has. So he has like a single target slow, single target silence, but teams are just so much faster in team fights at adapting to those kind of situations. And I guess you could also just say that a lot of other heroes have received buffs. Night Stalker has been pretty much untouched for the last like 5 or 6 versions. So when a lot of other heroes get buffs and he doesn't really get anything, then gradually he will just fall off.
I was thinking he actually matches really well against the Spirits in general.
He could be good here for Alliance. That might be a pick for them, but the problem is it would be S4 playing it and he's playing Bat.
Yeah, that's true. I
could
like
be
how
Bulldog Bat.
Jackie smiled.
It's true, Bulldog could be playing Bat.
I think it's Bulldog Bat and S4 Panda.
Do you have something to say, Jackie?
Not really. It's just I find it pretty funny. If you look at a Brewmaster Batrider, I'm like, oh, they won. But then I look at that Fire Spirits. I'm like, you can't win. You can't win against that Fire Spirits.
Yeah, he is really strong.
That's weird. It's just IG. If it was any other team, I would be like, they fucking lost. There's a Batrider Brewmaster first two.
There it is.
Oh, the Lua Invoker. So
more
this is
than
going
likely Exort.
Yep, yeah, that's how they played. I mean, when they get these two together, it's going to be Luo playing the Invoker and Ferrari still on the Ember Spirit. And that's another thing that we see sometimes, Ben, Invoker in the safe lane. How do you feel about it?
I think it's pretty good, especially for the Chinese team, just because they don't overfarm with it and they know exactly when to fight and when not to. So I actually haven't had the pleasure of watching Luo's Invoker too much, but I'm fully confident that he'll be able to execute well.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of
give me some stats.
a spoiler. 7-1 when playing Invoker.
Safe lane Invoker is really strong.
They have an extremely good Void lineup that they pick Void right now on IG. They have the like Chrono into Sunstrike. They have the chains into Sunstrike, the arrows Sunstrike, and like the arrows into like Chrono into arrow and stuff like that. It's pretty. They have a super good pick off. They pick the Void right now.
Yeah.
Wonder if they pick it. The Chinese teams really like Void. I'm surprised they're not picking it yet. Oh, okay. There's no Void for sure.
I like seeing Alliance taking the Enchantress here, though, because that was what we were talking about, that they might need to take a more active role in the early game. And this Ake is one of the best Enchantress players in the world. He is incredible with micro, really good with decision making. He said in an interview at some point that the way he plays these kind of heroes is that he sets up some scenarios for himself, where it's like, if A happens, I do B. If B happens, I do C, etc. So he thinks ahead and waits to see how the map develops, and then he's already planned ahead for that moment. So he's really, really good at adapting to that. And now we're going to see the Silencer coming out for Alliance. This is most likely going to be a carry position Silencer for Loda, which I think they've been really good with.
Yeah, Jackie, actually, parenthesis, Jackie, is it true that you like anime, or is it just a myth that you like anime, right?
I like anime. Of
Anime,
course I
yeah.
like anime.
Can I call you Jackie Chan?
No.
Damn. Jackie then. Silencer. You pick that, Alliance picks that as carry. Talk to me about the hero. Why is he strong? Why is he strong in this case? Of course, there's the Ember Spirit, but what else?
Well, he's good against all the heroes on IG side. I think if you get the Aghanim's refresher, or just the Aghanim's, if you use your ultimate and Bristleback has a mech, he won't even be able to cast a mech. So it's strong. I think late game, refresher Aghanim's, like, they're gonna crush. I actually like their picks a lot more than IG's right now.
Okay.
I like their picks a lot more than IG.
End up with Bane.
They're putting so much more emphasis on early aggression now with Bane as the support here together with it. So yeah, final note for me about Silencer. The pure damage from Glaives against Bristleback should probably also be really useful. He's a tanky hero, good to bring down.
All right, great. Thank you very much, guys. We're going to head up to the commentary team once more for Game 2 of Alliance versus Invictus Gaming.
Thanks so much, Paul, and welcome, guys, to Game 2 of IG versus Alliance. IG already one game ahead after what was a dominant performance in Game 1. All that aggression, Mad just destroyed Alliance, but this time around, Alliance have picked themselves a much more teamfight-oriented draft. It doesn't feel like they're going to be playing the passive split-push game. They've got Brewmaster, they've got the Silencer with the Axe
10 seconds remaining.
Batriders, that initiator. They've got so much early team fight here. It seems like Alliance have just completely switched their whole entire ideology about this match.
Oh yeah, that's a complete turnaround from Alliance. I really like to see that. They're going to be looking for early aggression and rotations on every single lane, try to really push IG into their like behind their T2s basically, and be looking for fights. We're looking at the Batrider jumping with the lasso and just the global silence. It's going to be really hard to take fights early on for IG. They do have control, they do have a good lagging potential, but it's all going to come down to the execution and how much time they can win versus Alliance lineup.
What I really love is that IG, they still have all their signature heroes, right? We're still going to be seeing that Ferrari Ember Spirit. We also have Luo playing his Invoker. And then even Chuan and Mirana. You can never forget about that one. And I love the fact that they don't necessarily have, they have so many different setups for him, whether it's going to be the Fisher, which is a great one, but obviously the Chains as well is actually a really good combination that IG have perfected time and time again. Ferrari will run forward. There it is. Smoke is going to be a real hit. Okay! And that's going to be your first blood as IG find that initiation into the enemy jungle and able to lock it down. So good start for them and going to be able to take control of the enemy jungle. And you can see what they're going to do with that control as they make their way through. No one else from Alliance should be caught, but already Alliance off to a pretty bad start in what is going to be potentially. Now IG can they run this aggressively? I mean, we're looking at a Bristleback, the Earthshaker as well as the Mirana. They can move around quite a bit. What's the chances that they actually sit in one lane? Because all three of these cores from IG can sit in their lane solo rather easily.
They can. I really like what IG did. Like, they completely shut down Ake right now. He's going to be looking to roam the map, and he will be forced to go in the Dire's jungle because his jungle is completely blocked, and we're going to have the double roaming from Xuan and Faith. It's going to be really effective, and Ake is looking... He's in trouble right now because there's DD on the bottom, so he needs to be really careful. He has vision of them, he just pinged them, so... Very careful play by Ake.
Small glimpse, the Earthshaker will be able to land the Fissure, but the follow-up arrow will miss this time around. As Chuan, if he had landed that one with the double damage, they easily had enough damage to kill him. So Ake lucky to be alive, as it looks like he's probably going to have to go back to base after that one. Meanwhile, we have this bottom lane, which is going to be a 2v1. The Silencer facing up against the Bristleback, while EGM is going to be supporting and probably trying to pull as much as possible to get some of that early experience. Of course, the faster you get to level 6, the more effective you could be as a Bane.
So you can see already Ake going in the opponent's jungle. This is really the right decision, and the problem for IG right now is that they have no vision of him moving. They do have the control of the Radiant's jungle, and they're looking for a gank mid, it looks like. They need to be really careful with that because Panda is really tanky, but they might get him if they get the double stun.
Already been revealed as they come into lane, but Brewmaster making the perfect out there as he goes up the river, circles back around, and really loses very little time inside of that jungle. And as you said, with Admiral Bulldog already being a strong contender up against the Invoker, any sort of rotations could put Luo on the best foot by far.
I like EGM's decision. He's like, Silencer is gonna crush Bristleback anyway. He doesn't need my help. Like, Loda will do fine, 1 versus 1, and I can just roam and look at him playing super aggressive. I mean, he's gonna look for a kill because Ferrari is really overextended, trying to play his matchup to the best, and we're...
The sleep's gonna come out. S4 does not have enough mana to be able to land that clap, and Ferrari slips himself away. The last right click, still not enough, and S4 barely managed to get away from that Sunstrike, and EGM will ensure that last hit onto the Ember Spirit. So a successful gank there is EGM, and you're right, very smart decision by them to, they know that the potential, the Mirana, Earthshaker, they're going to be moving around, so Alliance are going to counter that movement as much as possible. The Enchantress shows her creeps as she tries to go behind the tier 1 tower, and Luo, even though he's already seen it, they could still go for the dive potentially. The problem is always the enemy IG supports. You know they're moving around a whole bunch, you just don't know where necessarily.
We can't necessarily see everything, but there's so many big plays in this game already. We can see that obviously the Sunstrike evasion by S4 was great, and made the ring again.
S4, he's going to get picked off. Chuan landing his signature arrow right into the follow-up Sunstrike. Easy damage. I mean, this is so much setup. Not only do they have good setup for the arrow to be able to land, but the follow-up damage is always going to come from that Sunstrike. IG love the Exort Invoker because Luo is a beast. Whether it's with those Forge Spirits, the Sunstrike, or even eventually the Meteor combo, he is always sure to land those. So far the laning phase seems to be going a lot of action back and forth, but we still have our primary farmers. Loda is farming up the bottom lane, and they do get a sleep. YYF is going to be led with that initial nuke from the Silencer, but YYF, they just really don't have enough nuking damage. With no disables, there's very little way I think they can kill Bristleback. If YYF dies, I would say it's his own fault at this point.
Yep. Then S4 is really struggling on the mid lane because of obviously the 2 ganks. Right now it's Ferrari having a good start, and this is troublesome for Alliance. We saw how good that player is with Ember Spirit, so let's see if they can try to slow his farm somehow.
Oh, Chuan gets it! The Sunstrike follow-up! And that's going to be Bulldog going down in the top lane. Chuan, man, it is the Mirana support. You talk about it and you go, it can be hit or miss, right? It's quite literally hit or miss on those arrows, whether or not a support Mirana shines or just falls apart and does nothing for you. And Chuan is one of those ones with like a 90% hit rate, man. His arrows never miss. So far, Chuan making a lot of extra pressure on the map that just no other support would be able to provide. Now Ake's going to be running into 2 here. The Fissure block, not quite there. Spade now finally throws it out. Ake's going to try and heal himself, but YYF certainly got enough physical damage. But S4's coming in. He knows he doesn't care about the Bristleback. He wants to get Faith. That squishy support hero is going to be rather easy to kill. Faith doesn't have a teleport. What he wants to do here is just buy as much time. He knows he's dead, but if he could delay S4 as much as possible, that's the only thing he can do.
that's Ake's level 6. I'm wondering what Loda wants to get. I mean, his farm is uncontested so far. Go for a Midas or try to, step into the game earlier. We're going to see his decision on that, because right now Alliance is in trouble in the sense that Ake can't really apply pressure. He's level 2, not even level 3 yet. His camps are still blocked, and he's being zoned out by a Shaker Root, so...
S4 fighting up against Ferrari, but Ember Spirit now has, he's taken a lot of damage from that Enchantress. We could see that's going to be, part of what you were talking about, Ake being, not really being able to do much with his jungle. He's going to try and help out this mid lane as much as possible. The problem is, until they have Fiend's Grip up for the Bane, they don't really have enough to be able to catch him out, because the Nightmare, you just lead it into something else. The only thing they really have is going to be slows, like the clap, everything else. Maybe Elasto can come in time, but other than that, they really just do not have enough hold. Oh, S4 barely. That creep just dove in front of that arrow for S4. Now he's still going to be caught out slightly here as the chain goes out, but a slight stack of disables means S4 should manage to get himself away. A Sunstrike will go out from Luo, and S4, I'm sure he's paying attention to that one, just because that extra bit of damage could be a killer. S4 does not want to be going down now that he's level 6. He can't afford that downtime. He needs to get a Blink Dagger as fast as possible and start being the initiator for his team. You
can see that Luo, every time he's casting a Sunstrike that's not obvious, I mean not a chaining Sunstrike on a stun, he just hides to make sure S4 or whoever is targeted doesn't see him. Oh, okay, that was very fortunate.
Okay, and EGM, they run right into the Invisible Fate. They do see him for a glimpse moment there as the Sentry was able to reveal him, but the Invis Room being picked up by the Earthshaker stops the smoke rotation, and that could have been a good opportunity for them. Do you think they're actually going for the mid lane? I just don't. They do have a lot amount of damage they can throw in a short period of time, but I still see Ferrari, after that sleep, immediately jumping to the Remnant. Do you think they were aiming to go top?
I don't think, they have to go top, because mid is unkillable, especially the Shaker. Like, you can see that the Shaker is just roaming around, so he is gonna be mid at one point, and he's gonna expect that. It's the obvious move, and I don't think Alliance wants to go that, and especially because they're gonna be using the Pyramid Split in order to secure the kill, and with the Fisher, it's just gonna waste it. Yeah,
arrow goes out, Bulldog is blocked off, but of course he's always got the fire flying, and the silence goes out as well. Middle lane, we have the Brewmaster jumping in, the silence going out, and they do get the Cyclone. He's still going to be able to jump to his Remnant, but it's not enough distance to get away from that fast Fire Panda. So not only does Batrider live in the attempted gank from IG at the top lane, but they also score a precious kill on that Ember Spirit.
So that was an awesome silence. He denied the gank on the top lane, and thanks to that silence, I believe they were able to keep the Ember Spirit. Great minute for Alliance right now. They're coming back in this early game. Loda is farming really a lot. He's going for a Midas, as he has already 40 CS, so he didn't miss a lot of creeps. We're looking at a really farm silencer, and probably, like you mentioned, an Aghanim into Refresher, which is it's really hard to fight that hero, especially when you have squishy heroes such as Ember, Potom, and Shaker.
Look at this, YYF. He's taken advantage of the off lane as much as possible. He's going to be able to have a good amount of recovery from that now. He was already doing decent in his lane, but if he's able to actually fully complete what we were looking at earlier, that's going to be a big advantage for him, jumping his levels up rather drastically. We're going to have Ferrari grabbing a rune bottom lane. We're going to see he's actually going to be going into the enemy jungle here, and EGM just barely sliding away.
Yep, so Ake is catching up a bit now. He's level 4.5, which is good for him. I wanna highlight the mid lane warding for IG. They're making sure, and they want to dive Loda. They're diving bottom.
Yeah, Loda. Well, he's already silenced up. Ferrari moving around with that haste rune. Loda is trapped up against YYF. Ferrari gets low there with the glass clap, but he was able to get the distance. And now Loda fighting up against the physical damage from YYF. They might be able to kill him just in time. He has to get the quill before. Finally, YYF does secure that, and he will die to S4. But at the same time, oh man, Ferrari jumped away once again with no health. If he had actually managed to go down there from that last clap, that could have been a completely different fight. Silencer could have slipped away there, and that could have been just a 1-for-0. But thankfully, Ferrari managed to just barely escape with his life.
It was such a nice try from Loda. He wanted to save his last word to put it on Ferrari and prevent him from going back. He would have died. So really good play from Loda, but unfortunately for him, Ferrari was just joking around the trees. Even better play from him. So yeah, I wanted to say, I was saying earlier that IG is focusing on the mid lane quite a lot with the warding because of the Shaker Potom, right? They have really long range stuns, and they want to make sure they can control S4. This is really interesting. We can see that Schwan already removed, I think, even 2 wards, one for sure, maybe even a second one. It's really interesting to see they're shutting down Ake so hard in this early game. It's going to be really hard for him to come back against a full burst lineup.
G.
And he reveals the smoke. So
Yeah,
that's
smoke
the
has
1-for-1.
been revealed. Ake, well, he's in serious trouble. He wraps around the corner. Silence goes out. And that's going to buy Ake a lot of time as his heal's already coming out. Faith getting low. Last hit, EGM couldn't quite claim it. Already, Ake has fallen. And Faith managed to get himself away with a brilliant arrow from Chuan. Now YYF has entered into the mix. He wants that squishy support hero. Brewmaster popping his ultimate. Don't think YYF, oh, he's going to go for it. He goes for the dive, but the Cyclone will put a stop to that one. And Ferrari, he's going to back himself away, but YYF, he's too tanky for them to go for him. Instead, Ferrari's being gone on, but I just don't see them having enough damage. Now S4 comes back. He was already low enough. Now Ferrari's going to go down. S4 gets hit by the Sunstrike, and there goes that Ember Spirit, juping it away at the last second. YYF slowed up by the Seeking Napalms, but he's already turned his back. 2 levels of his passive, and that may be enough to get him out. Lotus trying to get those last hits, but it's nowhere close enough, or is it? YYF, he's got enough mana, just enough to throw the Quill Spray, and he is good. And the whole entire time, man, Luo has been pushing in this top lane. He's already claimed the tier 1 tower, and he is content to sit here and farm. You could see he's going to be going for a fast Orchid, not taking advantage of all of his free farm, and opting for a quick Midas. What do you think about that?
I think it's the right decision because they understand that they won the early game big time and they weren't supposed to, so they're not going to be afraid to fight. I mean, they're going to be looking for fights actually. I think they can take the fight versus Alliance, sure. There's going to be the silence, but who's going to deal the damage, during the global silence? No one can. I mean, Virtrider has decent control, but that's no damage. Same goes for the Primal Split, especially when it's level 1. And Enchantress isn't level 6 yet. So Alliance is lacking damage, and IG understands that, and they also want to maybe get Roshan, and for that they need items. Orchid's going to help them so much. They might even be looking at jumping on that silencer. He has only a Midas, he's super squishy. So I really like that decision making from Luo. And you can see that IG is actually going to be the one to aggress Alliance, and I like that. It's basically IG outplaying Alliance right now. Just in the moves, in the 3 versus 3, they're always coming out of top. Not necessarily because they have the stronger lineup, it's just because they play better so far.
Structures are fortified.
It's going to be pushing in that middle lane now. Tier 1 tower almost going down at the same time. Ferrari's coming in from behind. S4 is going to be revealed here. Throws out the Starstorm. Now this disable goes out the follow-up arrow. S4 does not have his ultimate in time, and he will fall up against the 3 heroes. In the meantime, we also had Invoker being able to snag the Bane. He will get killed in the process as Admiral Bulldog makes a good rotation over, but they got the tier 1 tower in the process, so IG still making the better trade everywhere they go.
Yeah, I mean, the surprise Orchid really worked. I mean, EGM wasn't expecting that. He was actually really well positioned behind Bulldog, and if he had the ability to use the Phoenix Grave, it would have been an easy kill on Invoker. Instead of that, it's a 1-for-1 plus a tower for Invoker, 1 versus 2, so it's looking really good for IG so far. Now they have the Global Silence and the Primal Split plus the Dire and Batrider, so Alliance might be looking to something, and that's going to be a smoke just under ward. So once again, IG is just every time one step ahead, all the time. Alliance is doing what they have to, but IG is just playing simply amazingly right now.
Yeah, Lions, the one thing that I really, like, they have all this amazing team fight, but at the same time, if they don't manage to jump on IG, win the team fight heavily, and get a bunch of kills and maybe take some map control off of that, they're going to be hurting for the next couple of minutes because they have 2 very long cooldown ultimates. They're big team fight winners, but if something goes wrong, if IG are able to disengage or hell even win the team fight despite that, Alliance are going to just forced to be in the passive position for the next 2 minutes because they can't be fighting without the Brewmaster ultimate or without the Silencer ult.
They will, and you can see IG's positioning. They're sticking to the tier 2 because they know Alliance is smoked, right? They saw it, now they know that it's off cooldown, and they smoked themselves right after. This is just brilliant, honestly, and Alliance is going to be completely surprised by this.
Loda hit up, Sunstrike, and a large amount of burst damage will finish him off before he can do anything. Luo stunned up, Brewmaster doing a good job trying to disable him, but that's not going to be enough. Faye throws out his ultimate in an attempt to try and kill as many of those creeps as possible. Still pursuing in, Luo getting low, Brewmaster trying to get those last couple of hits, but now here comes the turnaround. Quick blink away, but Chuan barely passes by that arrow. Now S4 not blocked out by the Faith Fisher, and S4 should be able to get away even with that Orchid on him. He's going to be fine. Bottom lane we have EGM also being dove, and with 2 of the tanky heroes on the side of IG going down very quickly. Chuan looks like he continued to go forward. The Fisher block not going to be enough as they claim that last hit. Admiral Bulldog does get a kill in return, but IG, they got the important target, right? They were able to nuke down that silencer in the very beginning of the fight.
They're playing just perfectly right now. This is just top-notch execution from IG. They do everything right. It's actually very scary when you watch it. And Bulldog is playing a good game, to be honest. He's making everything he can, like doing everything he can, but it's not enough. Alliance now has to wait the Primal Split if they want to take the fight. The good thing for them is that S-Born is now level 11. He needs a creep for that, so he's going to finally get some damage on his Fire Panda, which he really needs, and that's the bottom ultimate. So once again, they're going to be looking to jump on Loda. He needs to be really careful. And it doesn't look like he knows. He's completely dead.
Yep, Arrow's going to catch him out. Perfectly timed with the Fisher as well. 6-13, IG with a massive lead already. And going to build on that as they pick off the Silencer and going to turn this into a Tier 1 tower, because they know Alliance, without that global, there's no way they can fight them, especially since we have that quick mech already up for YYF.
Yep.
It ensures they always have enough sustain.
This is a bit, it's a bit of IG punishing Loda for the Midas, I feel like. So maybe the timing on the items was a bit fortunate. Like Luo could still decide what he wanted to get, but he got Midas, and then we see the instant Orchid and the mech, allowing IG to take any sort of fight they want. I mean, they're not even getting rushed because they don't need to. Alliance, they have the fighting lineup, right? That's what we called, but they got really outplayed in the early game, and it makes IG so strong that they just have to try to take trades. Exactly what we see right now going on in Tier 1, but IG is gonna both defend and stay in Alliance's jungle to get either Roche or a tower. Right now it's looking really grim for Alliance. They need to pull out some really big plays, and a smoke could really help them, but once again it's IG being aggressive.
I mean, they can try Alliance, they can always try and push this to late game where they're going to be relying on the carry Silencer, which has shown to be really effective in the late game, but at the same time they're fighting. And then, of course, the 3 other cores will be able to do a lot on the side of IG, so it's unlikely to see just a Silencer. He's got a lot of utility around him, and that's nice, but they don't really have a strong other core besides just that Silencer. Now, Batrider and Bulldog, oh, he tried to grab him! There goes the Silence, Brewmaster Ultimate! They're going to focus down Luo first. They will be able to get that kill, but what else can they grab out of this? They've already popped both of those, and look at that Fisher block! That is beautiful from Faith, as he's going to delay the Brewmaster's retreat, and they might be able to grab him if they can just get that damage in time, right as the Brewmaster Ultimate goes down. Oh, you saw that arrow. That could have been just a half a second later. Could have actually snagged S4 as he came out of his ultimate.
And this is Roche. No global silence, no premise, but this is Roche. This is all they got. And once again, IG was playing that perfectly. They were just staying behind their Tier 1. They do no mistake whatsoever. So Alliance used everything they had to offer, almost. I mean, sure, they didn't use the Finn's Grip, and they had got 1 kill on Invoker. Honestly, it was close enough, but what can Alliance do versus that? They're not gonna get Roche because they got the medallion on launch 1, which is a really good decision. I really like this because they lack physical damage on Roshan, and now Alliance will be looking for trades, and they're gonna try to abuse that global into Primal Split. The problem is that if you don't have map control, and if you get a kill every, let's say, 2 minutes, it's not gonna be enough, and your opponent is just, farming the whole map.
So Luo's going to be able to grab the Aegis. Alliance have already kind of revealed the fact they're going to be opting to try and get the kill on the Invoker in the beginning every single time, and there is so much physical damage. I mean, there's a lot of magic damage between just the Earthshaker Mirana combination for the 2 supports, and obviously each of IG have their individual nuke, but there's also a ton of physical damage, which allowed them to do Roshan so quickly. Bristleback, all physical right there. He's even got some minus armor to throw into the mix, and as you said, the medallion from the Mirana. So it's a nice mixture that Alliance won't be able to defend easily up against. Now, we're going to see Alliance. They were pushing in the top lane, backing themselves up for fear of any sort of rotations from IG. They know they can't take a single fight, and that is exactly why they back up, as they were afraid of the Moonlight Shadow as Faith. His positioning was revealed by the counter ward.
Yeah, nice reaction from Faith. Awesome reaction. He's gonna die, but like you can see that he Fisher even before Bulldog could last or do anything. And they're going on GM. That's an easy kill.
IG gets the Bane kill in return for the Earthshaker, and what else can they get? It looks like the Ember Spirit's going to jump himself away, but that's because they don't have their full force, because the rest, Luo as well as YYF, they're pushing in the bottom lane with the Forge Spirits and the massive amount of physical damage Bristleback provides early on. They easily claim the Tier 2 in just 30 seconds.
There are 2 things that are worth mentioning, in my opinion. Luo decided to get a Midas after the Orchid with which says a lot about IG's game plan. They're like, sure, we got what we needed. Now we are in control, and we're not gonna rush things. You don't want to like break high ground versus the primal split last to global silence, right? You're gonna give away kills you don't want to give away. They're just gonna sit, farm. They're controlling the whole map, so they're looking great right now. So that's the first information they're giving to Alliance, although Alliance can't really, use it. And the second thing is that you have that Shaker, now he has Dagger, and that's gonna change the whole fight. Now Alliance has to global silence instantly. They can't wait, else Face is just gonna stop them from killing the guy they want on at the beginning of the fight.
Right, his option is, if he can, always jump onto Loda and lead with that initial Echo Slam and just try and chain stun him up, right? I mean, that's your key hero. IG have already been trying to jump on Loda every single time, and now they've got another initiator in Faith. Well, they've got all the more options. Looks like IG may be pairing up for another push. They've already shown a couple of heroes pushing into the top lane. And, well, with that Aegis, it's unlikely that Alliance take this fight. I mean, they're going to be fighting at a disadvantage, even with their big team fight ultimates, which they do have up. It's still going to be an exceptionally tough fight to take.
It's going to be really hard, but to be honest, it's the best fight. They have to take that fight.
Well, it's not going to be great. If EGM, he tried to sleep himself in time, but the Fisher actually stopped that animation. And that means he gets bursted from a distance, man. IG committed nothing in order to claim that kill and are going to be able to take the tier 2 off of it.
IG is so, fast at reacting and at taking the initiative. The Alliance has the initiation art. They have the Batrider, the Panda, and IG with a Shaker, they went on Alliance before Alliance could even react.
Oh, look at that! Admiral Bulldog blocked up, and with the Orchid, he can't Firefly over, easily bursting him down. IG now backing up with the Moonlight Shadow. I love their positioning. They're making sure that Alliance, even with the pick-off to their advantage, are not going to give Alliance the opportunity to jump on them. That's exactly what S4 is looking for, as he jumps in, grabs 2 with the clap, but what else can they really get? S4 slept up. Good defensive sleep there from EGM. Is going to be able to help out S4 a lot, but it's not enough. He was halfway through the animation of his ultimate. But Mad, it's looking like Alliance on the ropes right now. They've already lost their tier 3 21 minutes in. As you said before, IG can easily just back themselves up and control this game. But with over a 12,000 gold lead, you cannot be feeling confident about Alliance's chances to come back into this game, especially since they don't have an obvious late game advantage.
What a domination by IG. They have six towers still. They're just destroying Alliance right now. Like every move they go for is the perfect one, and the execution is just top notch. I don't know how Alliance can come back from this. They need to get at least their combo right. That's the first thing. And let's see the damage they actually have. They have decent damage with Loda. Like he has level 4 Curse of the Silence. He has Aghanims now, so that's decent damage. They can maybe kill, the 2 supporters on the first initiation, but that's all they're gonna get. But that's at least something, right? They need to be patient and try to find the right openings. But once thing is sure, they have to open the fight. If it's IG that's gonna open the fight, it's gonna be a disaster for Alliance.
IG, they were hoping on that one. Chuan just throws in an arrow right next to the creep wave. If they grab Brewmaster, they grab him. That would be the most optimal play there. Is they pick out the Brewmaster, then can push in. But if not, they just go ahead to keep control of this lane as much as possible and not really let Alliance push out and get any farming room, because IG are so scary right now. And they've got such good map control that Alliance, they can't push out with confidence, right? They're not going to be able to split push for fear of getting picked off by like the Moonlight Shadow, any of the long-range initiation from arrows or Fisher, anything like that. There's so many opportunities for IG to get individual kills on Alliance if they're alone, and Alliance also can't be happy about trying to 5-man push if they don't actually have vision of IG, because as you said, they do not want to be initiated on by the big Earthshaker as the first move. They always want to get off the global silence first.
And the timing is awful for Alliance. I mean, by the time Loda has Aghanims, so now maybe he can deal decent damage. They do have a BKB on Bristleback as well as on Invoker, so this damage is not gonna happen. So again, that's just IG snowballing and getting their timing perfect.
On IG, they've had a lot of growth recently. You even see Chuan, well, he's picked himself up a Force Staff, which is rather unusual for a Piranha, but it's perfect for his support. S4 jumps in, gets off the Brewmaster ultimate, and with that silence going out on Admiral Bulldog, he wasn't able to get the lasso. He will survive for the time being. Brewmaster, they had a Fiend's Grip on YYF, but he's simply too tanky. They cannot afford to go on those heroes. Sunstrike actually lands on AGM, the follow-up nukes. They should be able to get at least that 1 kill. Arrow will ensure it. Now on the backside, Brewmaster His Fire Panda was the last one out. He's going to be able to jump farther forward. The rest of Alliance do get themselves away. Ferrari wants to really abuse this double damage as much as possible. And with the one pick off on the Bane, there's a lot used by Alliance. They know those big team fight ultimates are down, and a hero as well. I think IG have enough to be able to push in once again. Maybe not commit to a Rax, but definitely lay down a lot of damage onto a tier 3.
So that was the first mistake IG actually did, but it didn't matter at all. They popped the BKB before the global silence, so they were actually silenced, but despite that, they still crushed Alliance.
Fade jumping in deep, will be able to get off the Echo Slam onto Loda. Slept up as well, he should go down. At the same time, YYF is moving in fast into the enemy team. Alliance are trying to play defense here, hiding up against the tier 4s. Beautiful Sunstrike. He's going to be able to finish off another. Loda immediately buying back. This is their opportunity. IG have dove in deep. Can they possibly win one single team fight here? The teleport's going to come in. Bane, he needs a priority kill. Fucking Orchid turn around. The arrow comes out, and EGM's already dead. S4 claims Mirana. IG, they keep on moving forward. Loda, he's trying to back himself away from YYF. He's not going to go in for that dive. Instead, they content themselves with an S4 kill. And Alliance have already lost so many members, I don't think they can get anything else. Great play there from Luo. Actually used the Ghost Walk there to try and slow everybody up. Ferrari will go down, but Luo will slow them up enough. Well, he's just thrown down a counter ward. Now he's going to turn fight up Loda, but they've got enough damage to be able to take out Luo before the Orchid can finish off Loda, living with just 60 health. So Alliance do get a bit of a turnaround. IG overextending as they commit almost all the way to the fountain there just to be able to claim those precious kills.
IG are so disciplined. Like, they dive as one hero, they go back as one hero, they instantly 5-man turn on the Panda and burst him down whenever he decides to dag in. It was the same for Bane. I mean, the TP from EGM isn't bad, right? He's just trying to stop them from going back, but then he insta-dies because they insta-turn on him. So we can see the difference in execution from both teams. It must be, you know, one guy coding stuff for IG and the 4 others just listening to him. And it's actually beautiful to watch. So effective.
Right, if you actually make that, I mean, if you go in for the dive, you commit as a 5-man unit. You could see IG, they lost a couple of key heroes, obviously, the Invoker and the Ember Spirit, really important for them. But in the end, that could have been much, much worse. I mean, in that position, when you're in between tier 4s and tier 3s like that, and buybacks have occurred, most teams would be wiped in that situation. But IG have just enough discipline and cover each other very well. For example, the turnaround onto EGM as he teleported really far forward, going, yes, I can get 2 heroes disabled here. If I can get a good sleep on one and the Fiend's Grip on another, I can ensure some good kills from my team, some good pickoffs, and that may be our opening. But even then, they just turn around, quickly kill him, and continue backing up. It's a beautiful coordination from IG. The Chinese showing beautiful,
and once again,
beautiful teamwork.
A 4-man smoke under a ward. So the warding from IG, their decision making, their execution, everything's perfect right now. And they know what's going on. Once again, they don't care. Like, they saw Alliance smoking under the ward that they had in the base. So now Alliance is just gonna run around and waste time, unfortunately for them. And Roshan is not back yet. It's gonna be back really soon. But so IG is just, you know, waiting. You know, they're sticking together, waiting for Alliance to finally show up. And Alliance is just wasting time.
Now, even if Alliance are managed to hold here for the next 20 minutes, do you really think the Refresher Ags is going to change that much for them? Because Brewmaster starts dropping off. I mean, both Bane and Enchantress are both really good supports going into late game, and obviously Batrider is wonderful utility. But for me, it's that mid hero, Brewmaster, who does tend to drop off in the late game, compared to IG, who can have 4 different heroes build into physical damage. I mean, it's hard for one carry to be able to match IG, who can go in for a whole bunch of different semi-carries, all building into physical damage in the late game.
Exactly, and the thing is that Alliance, they have only magical damage. That's all they have. I mean, Silencer is only magical damage, so is Enchantress. Same goes for Batrider, same goes for, I mean, Enchantress is pure, obviously, but when you have a BKB, she's not dealing any damage. Same goes for Brew and for Bane. So whenever, like, when IG has 5 BKB plus Layers, I don't see Alliance actually contesting them. At least not with the items they have.
Aegis being picked up by Luo once again. Gonna be happy with that Aegis because, again, well, yeah, Ake, Sunstrike's gonna come out. That damage by itself almost finishes off Ake, and Fate just needs to get close enough for an Echo Slam to ensure that kill. Alliance now on the retreat. IG once again grouping up. It looks like they're just going to 5-man down middle with this Aegis advantage. Why not? They certainly have enough damage if they can hold on to this DD on Ferrari. Well, they certainly got a tier 2, maybe even more. Admiral Bulldog, he will be able to initiate onto a Ferrari, but the two heroes in the back. Loda's going to go down. He doesn't even get off the global silence. He falls before that goes off. Brewmaster was able to get off his ultimate, but there's no damage coming out. Admiral Bulldog, he's trying to abuse the cliffs as much as possible, but not even that is indeed IG. Grab 4 there. Alliance can't even defend. Tier 2 is going to fall. Tier 3 probably going to go down as well. They do have the potential for one buyback.
I mean, look at that execution from IG. Bulldog jumped in, caught someone, and they insta-focused Loda. They don't care about Bulldog. That's how deep their understanding of the game is right now. Loda couldn't get the global silence off, so well, it doesn't matter that Bad Weather catches the Amber Spirit. They're playing that to perfection right now. It's more than impressive.
S4 managed, well, their Bean Script is going to go off from EGM. He sees the opportunity where Ferrari was pretty far out there, but a quick Fisher is going to be able to stop that one, and Ferrari can conceivably get some revenge. EGM sleeps himself up to dodge any attempts at a Sunstrike. IG will just claim the mid-set of racks and back themselves away. Ferrari will join the team to make sure that Alliance don't move out and try and catch anybody, but IG always moving as a strong 5-man unit once they have that advantage.
So Bulldog's trying to catch someone, but he has to be really careful. IG is old here. They can turn instantly and one-shot him.
They see the fire. They know Admiral Bulldog has got to be around here somewhere. Ake being pursued deep into the base. At the same time, Admiral Bulldog was looking for that pickup. Now, 3-man clap, but BKB is instantly going out. Luo's going to be able to ensure the kill onto EGM on the side, while YYF diving him deep up against Ake, trying to get that other support kill, but couldn't quite claim it. And IG, arrow comes out. Loda, fortunately, the chains went out just in time for him to get himself away, but IG, I mean, they're just sitting inside Alliance's bait, and Alliance can't really do much about it. Tier 3 is going to go down soon as IG starts focusing on the bottom set of racks now, and there's just not enough damage in the world from this Alliance squad to be able to stop IG. Moonlight Shadow's going to go out. Initiation's going to come out from the Brewmaster. He does get off his ultimate. Chuan is getting low here on the side as he does burn out from the Batrider. But what else can they really get here? They know BKBs are down. This could be a decent fight for them, but it's going to be a tough one. Luo fighting, trying to kill the last of the Brewlings. Admiral Bulldog gets low as Ferrari, so much damage. Good deny there from EGM, but really when you're going to be losing the game here in a second, there's not much you can do. EGM falls, Sunstrike lands on both there, and that's the only reason Ake managed to live. Luo fighting up against both these heroes inside of the fountain. Finally, he will go down, but that's going to be the Aegis, and GG is the call from Alliance as IG will move on to the finals for the ESL One Frankfurt LAN event. Excellent play. I can't say enough about IG. They are looking in top form right now going into this finals, as well as potentially into TI4 as well.
It's funny because the best execution so far was Mouseport versus IG especially, and that's the second best in my opinion. That was perfection from IG. I don't think Alliance was even close to the level of IG in that series at least. So very, very impressive series from IG.
Well done. Invictus will be able to move on, but of course Alliance